Yes, you can use any light to grow your plants. However, some lights are better than others. Today, I'm going to walk you through the best kind of DIY lights that you can use for your indoor garden. My name is Joshua Rudd with Ruddshomefarm, and check out the link in the description for more information, but let's get into it. Alright, so this is my DIY station. This is my DIY grow tent with my DIY lights. This right here is a lamp that I took the wire out. Here's one over here. This is just a regular pole lamp. You unscrew the top, and then you could unscrew this, and then you could unwire it, pull it through the base, and then wire it back in. You don't have to be an electrician to do it. Just do it carefully. You know, make sure you label wires and stuff like that. When you're taking it out, you want to wire it up the same way you wired it back in. So that's what these are over here. So first, we're going to take a look at fluorescent lights. Okay, so let's eliminate some lights immediately. Okay, don't use incandescent lights. Just don't. The heat, the light, the dim. You shouldn't even be using incandescents in your house. You shouldn't even have incandescent lights anymore. So let's just skip over those. So now we're on to fluorescents, right? Fluorescents are fairly dim. I wouldn't recommend them, and plus they take more energy than LED lights, as we shall demonstrate here. This is my wattage tester that I use a lot. Okay, so this is for the fluorescent light. And one also thing you have to remember is that fluorescent lights take a minute to warm up to full temperature. They got to heat up. Okay, so here's my trusty dusty lux meter. And let's test what kind of lux we're getting. Okay, so this is me touching it, right? So 30,000, 40,000 max, and let's see how fast the drop goes. All right, so it's practically nothing, right? Less than a foot away. Now, for control, here's ambient light. Ambient light is 0. Well, there we go. See, I got my lights and stuff over here, so we can get at least a 0.1, but 18 inches away from fluorescent is the same thing. Let's take a look at our wattage usage. That is 12 watts, 12.6 watts. We'll round it up to 13. You can see it's going up. That means it's still warming up and it's still getting to the proper brightness. So we'll just wait for it to level out, maybe. Maybe it might get a little brighter. Alright, I think we leveled out. 13.6 watts. Alright, let's test what we got now. Alright, now I'm touching again. Look at that, it's doubled. So it's warmed up all the way. So it's about 80K. And let's watch the drop. That's about a foot away. And that is a foot and a half. So that's pretty dim. That's pretty terrible. And let's move on to the LED light. Alright, this is the LED one. The same color-ish. Make sure I plug it in the right way. Come on. There. This one I can measure right away. 8.7. Alright, so touching, and let's watch it drop. That's about a foot, and that's all the way down. So it's still even slightly brighter than the fluorescent, and it used half the wattage. Maybe 5 watts less, so it was at a third as much. Yeah, this is brighter. All right, so that means you should be using LEDs no matter what. So fluorescents are kind of out. They're outdated. You should be updating your house to LEDs because they're just so cheap and efficient and use a ton less energy, and they're brighter. So now from LEDs, let's move on to different types of LEDs. For your information, it's a 760 lumen LED and 8.5 watts. Alright, so next on the list, it's really hard to see, but this is a 1600 lumen and it's a 500K, so that means it's white, bright white. So let's see what we got. So that's 15 watts. That's only 2 watts less than this one, the fluorescent. Let's give it a test. Alright, so automatically this is touching. Right, that's pretty bright. That's really bright. And let's watch the drop. Okay? So that's it's still a fairly decent drop. When you're using DIY lights, you're gonna need to keep them nearly touching. Like, you want to keep between 30, 40K for lumens. So that's like an inch. Right, that's about an inch right there. So you're gonna have to keep your plants about this close. Maybe about this close, but I mean, you're gonna have to adjust it a lot. That's the main problem with DIY lights, is it's diffused. It's made to spread out over a big period. But I have a solution for that. Let's go to the next light. This is a grow light. It's about $20 at time of purchases. Links in the description. So I don't know the exact price. Prices change all the time. But this has certain magnifying glasses on the LEDs to kind of focus the light in, and you notice it's only pointing down. So let's go ahead and plug this puppy in and see what we got. We are plugged in. We shall now test the wattage. Dang, I do that every time. So this is our highest wattage. 23 watts. 23 watts. Let's take our lux meter. Alright, so we're touching. 1 means it's higher than 20. 20K, 200K. Alright, so now let's go down. See, it's still very bright. That's very bright, still very bright. This is about half a foot. Okay, look at this. This is about 1.5 feet. That's all the way down as we can go. That's about 1.5 feet. Now, if you notice, it's a whole lot brighter, and it's not even really visually brighter. You can look over here like, whoa, look at that, look at all the brightness, but it's not really focused. All this dissipation of light here, but this over here, all the light is focused downwards. Like, watch, we'll put this. Oh, let me sit down. They're about the same height. You know, maybe an inch or two difference. Nothing serious. But you can see I put that one over there. Only has about 4,000 lumens. And then this one, many times as much. So you're gonna waste overall. You should at least buy a grow light like this, so you're not wasting electricity, right? This one looks cool, but you're wasting a ton. So if you want, you could build yourself a little DIY grow tent. This is probably more expensive than a grow tent because this shelving itself probably costs as much as a whole grow tent. So, but if you like doing stuff yourself and creating stuff and making stuff, you know, you can do that too. All right, so hopefully I answered your questions. You know, get yourselves. You can try. If you don't have any sort of light, you're gonna have to keep your plants. If you use a light that's 1600 lumens, you're gonna have to keep your plants about an inch away from it for it to get light. Right? This is about as far as you want. Like, you see that? That's about, it's hard to tell. That's as close as, like, probably right about there. Yep, there. When you're using that type of light. This type of light, you could have it about 6 inches away. I would recommend 6 inches. And it's designed for growing, and it's super cheap. If you got 20 bucks, maybe skip a few coffee days, and you could get one of these. I would highly recommend if you just want to grow. And these can be put in a little desk lamp too, so it doesn't have to be a hanging lamp like this. This is what I got. But if you got like a little, you know, one of those little desk lamps that you can adjust and move around, you can have that and point it at your plant, and you could just do it that way as well. So hopefully I answered your questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.